MBS Radio.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. I'm your host, Russ Rhodes. It is open conversation today. Looking forward to chatting with you. Give me a call on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. What's on Your Mind is brought to you by Tireman's Auto Garage, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Hicks and Baugh's Drug Store, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, Gary's Auto Sales, and Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping. Okay, so couple things on my list of topics here. And again, it's my list. If there's something else you want to talk about, that's fine. You're still going to have to call me, 724-438-4593. I guess at the top of the list right now, Pennsylvania may have a budget. The House voted earlier today, 156 to 47, to pass a budget that lists at $50.1 billion. It's about a 4.7% increase in spending over last year. Beyond that, I'm not a whole heck of a lot familiar with the particulars. I guess a lot of that increase has to do with Medicaid spending and additional monies to schools. The Senate is currently debating this proposed legislation with an eye towards a vote, well, maybe today. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. In the meantime, I have a call out, and I'm hoping to hear sometime in today's show a call from representative of the 51st House District, Charity Grimm-Krupa. I'm hoping she'll be calling in to maybe give us a little bit more info on this budget. It's also my understanding that she voted no, as did Ryan Warner up in the 50th Legislative District. So, of course, the Senate hasn't voted yet, so we don't know what Senator Stefano has done or will be voting on that. So anyway, Pennsylvania may, of course, then again, may not have a budget sometime this week. Other budgetary concerns, the federal government, well, we're still in a shutdown mode, but the House has been gavelled back into session as they are heading towards a vote on this new continuing resolution that would then fund the government through the end of January 2026. Earlier in the day, it passed the House Budget Committee to get this far. So as things move forward, well, we'll try and keep you apprised of all of that. Well, you heard on the news that the penny, although there's still a lot of pennies around, that number is going to hold because the federal Treasury is no longer going to mint the penny after today. The Coinage Act of 1792 authorized the minting of the penny. But today is the last day President Trump ordered its stoppage. Couple reasons behind that. One, the cost to produce 1 penny is almost 4 cents. It costs almost 4 cents to produce 1 penny. The Treasury also estimates there's 300 billion pennies in circulation. How many are, stashed away in somebody's drawer. Who knows? But estimate 300 billion in circulation. So that, in conjunction with buying habits now, where less and less money transactions are taking place with pennies. It's all being done with debit cards, credit cards, automatic transfers, cryptocurrency, whatever, that the use of or the need of a penny is becoming less and less. It's estimated, though, by stopping this, it will save the government, and you and I, by the way, $56 million a year. So there's that. Let's see. Thankfully, in this next one, there were no injuries, no deaths. So China, a couple weeks ago, opened the Hongqi Bridge. It's in western China, over a gorge on its highway to connect China into Tibet easier. This bridge, 2,487 feet across and stood over 2,050 feet high. It collapsed yesterday. It just opened a few weeks ago, and it collapsed. Engineers started noticing cracks in the pavement yesterday. They closed traffic to both vehicles and pedestrians. At some point in time, then, there was what officials are saying was a landslide on one of the ends that compromised the bridge, causing it to collapse. I'm going to wait here for a second before I go on to my next one, because the phone for this possible call that I was talking about has just lit up. And we're going to find out here real quick. Hopefully somebody's going to come in the studio, because it's not a typical line that I answer. So hopefully somebody's going to come into the studio and tell me that's the call I'm waiting on. Hold on a second. Nobody's letting me know yet. So you know what? I'm going to take a chance here and find out if this is who we've been waiting for. Hello, this is What's on Your Mind.
Hey, Russ, it's Charity. How are you doing?
Hey, I was hoping that was you calling in, and I thank you for doing so.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me on. I'm actually, about 20 minutes into my trip from Harrisburg on my way home. So it's been a very interesting day. I came up yesterday afternoon, so it's been another whirlwind of activity in Harrisburg.
I understand. So when did you get wind that this vote was coming?
So Monday they announced a non-voting session day on Tuesday, voting session day on Wednesday. We received an email from quote-unquote the leadership team, the Republican leaders, Leader Topper, that we were going to caucus at 4 p.m. last night, that there had been a deal that was reached. I'm not vocal about the fact that I get really, really upset about the fact that it's a handful of select people that are at the table negotiating that deal. And so as a rank and file member of the minority party in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, I was in the dark until, at 4 p.m. last night, caucusing, proposals. And it's even at that late hour, it's offensive because some of the stuff was in final form and publicly available. But the 44-page fiscal code, which the general appropriations is, sets the big number. The fiscal code is what authorizes and directs the specific spending. That was not in its final form, 144 pages, until 10:10 this morning. And I think it was about 12:45 that we voted on it. So the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, and I was a no vote on both. And let me stop and say, I am so very relieved for our counties, for our school districts, for our crime victim centers and our senior centers and our rape crisis centers. I am so very relieved that they are going to have funding. It is totally unacceptable that we would be this late, that we should not be late at all, period. So I am relieved for them that they can continue providing the services that we desperately need across the Commonwealth. And Fayette County being an underprivileged county, we rely heavily on the support that those organizations and agencies provide. But that being said, I was a no on both the general appropriations and the fiscal code. And you stop me if you have any specific questions, because I'll just keep talking. I apologize.
It's okay. So it's reported that it's $50.1 billion, this budget. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that is historically that's the highest budget in Pennsylvania history. It is a 4.7% increase, which 4.7 may not sound that bad, except for you're talking about billions of dollars.
Right,
so it is a $2.27 billion increase. And what really blows my mind is the numbers that it results in at the end of the fiscal year, an estimated $200,000 left in our reserves. So to meet that budget, for it to be a balanced budget, they have to drain our surplus, which means then that they're either going to have to dip into the rainy day funds the next fiscal year, or they will have to increase taxes. And I could not support it for that reason. I'm very passionate about the fact that we should be working really hard to identify fraud, waste, and abuse, and to start cutting that out. So if we would do that, we could make what we spent last year go even further and do these things. One of the things that I was a no vote on was a $278 million to Penn State. And that blows my mind that, why should the good hardworking families of Fayette County and York and these other places where the branch campuses be closed, why should their taxpayer dollars go to, and so, $278 million, that's huge. And there's no transparency or accountability, no true accountability with how they spend that.
And figure two, that's even a bigger increase if you take into effect that the money that Penn State's going to save with all these closures.
Right.
And then on top of that, the 50% pay raise they gave their president.
Right. It went from, and I spoke on the floor about this, and I am driving, so I don't have my notes in front of me, but it went from, 900 and some thousand to 1.4 million, plus all these other bonuses that makes her one of the top paid presidents of any university nationwide. It was $40-some million that they just paid off their coach to buy him out of a contract, so they're paying him that much money not to go back to work.
Right.
There was a ridiculously expensive stadium that the board approved this year to spend the sums on that. So if this were a private university, of course, do what you want with your own money. But when you're taking it from you are taking it. It's not government money; it's taxpayer money.
Right.
You're taking money out of the pocketbooks of the people of Fayette County and the people across the Commonwealth. There is no excuse why there is no transparency and true accountability with what happens to that money. So I was a hard no on that too. And I think it amazes me how little debate there is in Harrisburg. It seems so un-American, and I frankly I will acknowledge that I probably annoy my colleagues because I'm one of the people that gets up and speaks.
I'm sorry, that's your job though anyway.
Exactly,
and that's the job of the legislature, is to debate items, to debate proposed legislation, and this is proposed legislation, the budget.
Yep. Nope. And I could tell, like, when if you watch PCN, they do a really good job of making sure the microphones amplify the speaker who's speaking. But oftentimes, and I'm guilty of this too. The 203 House members or the other 202 are, having private conversations, and some of that's legitimate. Some of that's because they're working on their floor speeches and the few that there are, and gathering information, or different things. But it's just. And I don't know if it's because it has become so politically polarized that most, particularly on the Democratic side of the aisle, they vote straight party regardless. And coming from the courtroom background, it really was. And I have to do this still, you speak as though you're going to try to convince somebody, whether it's the judge or the jury.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people that I may sway their opinion are people in my own caucus.
Right.
There was a huge education fiscal, or like a package that went through today. I think it was 141 pages. And again, we're just learning of these details last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't the House pass legislation a number of years ago that, there had to be, what was it, at least 24 hours between, publication of legislation and voting on it to give you, the members, time to read the legislation as if you're going to be able to read 150 pages in 24 hours time?
So this is one of those things that doesn't make sense to me. Every session, there are new rules adopted, and the body adopts the rules. So, that just seems so counterproductive, because whatever party is holds the majority, then really tweaks the rules to make sure that they can
to their benefit.
Squeeze their power the way they want to. And that's one of the things that it does. It just absolutely blows my mind. Now, I still consider myself a newcomer. I'm in my second term. Terms are 2 years, so I'm just about the end of my third year. I came in when the Republicans lost the majority, I'm an idealist by nature. So I always think there's a way that things should be done. Justice and morality and all that stuff. And I hope, and although I'm always disappointed, I hope I never lose that and I don't get jaded. But I have been told, in all fairness, that the Republican Party, when we were in the majority, there were certain things that we did as well. One though that I get feedback that we did not do was excessive tabling of amendments. For example, there's this saying that I've learned up here that the way it should be, in the ideal world, it's the majority party has its way, but the minority party will have its say. Meaning, hey, they're not going to win this argument, but they at least are entitled to make the argument. And you do that a lot of times through amendments. And what you see, though, is that when you file your amendments to these bad bills or good bills, because you want to make it better, you want to fix some issue, they'll make a motion to table them, and because they have the majority numbers, that makes your motion go away, and debate on your motion go away, or your amendment. And it's really a way to silence the public argument on whatever the substance is of that amendment.
So what are some of the other things in this budget? I mean, basically the only thing I'm reading is a lot of this increase had to do with Medicaid payments and increase in education spending. Is that about correct?
Well, and I'll tell you one really huge thing that, and it made it hard for myself and some of my other colleagues to be a no on the fiscal code. There was one particular policy that was a reason why a lot of the Republicans voted yes on the fiscal code, and that was because there was language in there that basically abrogated. It was the verbiage that was used, certain regulations that had to do with carbon emissions. And effectively, what that means is legislatively, we are saying we're not participating in RGGI, which is that regional greenhouse initiative that the governor unilaterally playing king entered us into, and there's all kind of there's a pending Supreme Court ruling in that. I believe that oral argument a few months ago. So that was what a lot of Republicans are going to be touting as a win. There was some opposition to the fiscal code on the Democrat side of the aisle because of their perceived environmental arguments. Do I still have you there, Russ?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm trying to wrap my head around this, where legislatively we're not participating, but what exactly does that mean? I mean, is the governor still going to do what he wants to do when it comes to RGGI?
Well, and that's why, you know, my brain's going three different ways here. So as much as if that were a permanent enforceable thing, that is going to be a really great thing. But one of the questions that I had is based on the language that we are abrogating it, and my argument was, hey, we change laws every day. This language may be in here today, but what's to stop the department? Because that was really basically regulations that were put in effect through the governor's administration without legislative approval. So it was used as bait, I think, for a lot of Republicans, when I don't know whether that is something that has a real permanent nature to it or not. And I hope that it has positive impacts, because frankly, if we don't change our energy policies in the next 4 to 5 years, Pennsylvanians don't realize that, but if we don't change our energy policies, we're going to have rolling brownouts and blackouts in 5 years, particularly with the data processing centers coming into the Commonwealth. It's just a reality. And the scary part is everybody in Harrisburg knows it. Everybody in the energy industry knows it. But it takes several years to permit, and from the beginning of the permitting process to when it's up and running, it takes several years. So even if the stars would align and people would start building soon, those energy-producing plants, whatever they might be, may not be able to provide energy to the grid for several years. So,
gotcha.
So if the RGGI ends up being this big shiny star that the Republicans are going to tout it as, good. That is a really good thing. But on principle alone, and that was sandwiched in to that 140-some page fiscal code that wasn't in its final form until 10:10 this morning.
Wow.
And there's a lot of little pet projects that get sandwiched into that in vague ways. I cannot, in good conscience, vote in favor of something that I don't know what's in it.
Sure.
And yeah, so
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess I need to let you go here, but I guess on the bottom line here, if it weren't for the surplus, we'd be looking at a unbalanced budget, really.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. And Pennsylvania is constitutionally required to have a balanced budget. And the only way that they're doing that is through through draining the surplus. Now, I will tell you another win that I think, if you reflect back on the governor's budget address, his wish list, he based his proposed budget on taxes from recreational marijuana, which is just living in fantasy land.
Right.
So I am very, very pleased that did not come to fruition, because I think that's going to have a lot of bad consequences for our Commonwealth. So I even though I'm not on board with the end package, I'm really, really happy that wasn't part of what we
voted on. So I know you're not in the Senate, and this has gone to the Senate now, and they're debating on the floor as we speak here. What's your gut tell you is going to happen in the Senate? Are they passing it with a Republican majority there, or?
Yes. So I'm actually surprised to hear that they're debating it. My understanding was that it was just, I've been wrapped up on the House side of things. You get so hyper focused on what you're doing. A lot of times I don't pay attention to what the Senate did, and I probably shouldn't admit that. But really, when it's brought to my attention is when a Senate bill comes over for concurrence, and it's on your lap, because you have to put out fires, right? But my understanding was my understanding is that it's going to pass if it hasn't already, because when I talked to staff as I was leaving the Capitol, my understanding was that it was just that everything was a done deal. It was just signing them at the desks in the different chambers, and then it was going to the governor's desk. So I'm surprised to hear that they're still debating.
Yeah, well, I'd gotten a message from Senator Stefano saying that floor speeches were going on now.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
Yes, so there you go. Well, hey, once this is all settled, would love to have you come on in the studio where we can go into some greater depth. When things are a little more clarified, would love to have you on.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, invitation.
Absolutely. This is Representative Charity Grimm-Krupa from the Pennsylvania 51st, representing, well, half of Fayette County here anyway. Charity, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your take on what just transpired in Harrisburg earlier today.
Thank you. Take care, Rod.
Yep, drive safe. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All righty. Well, I'm going to take a quick break now. When we come back, well, we'll open up the phones for a conversation and your take on what's happening in Harrisburg right now after these messages.
Caring for an aging parent or a loved one with medical needs? FACT, Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation, can help. Seniors 65 and older ride free on our fixed routes. People with disabilities get discounted shared rides. And if your loved one has medical assistance, their trips to doctors or treatment are covered under the shared ride program. Give them safe, reliable independence and yourself peace of mind. Call 724-628-RIDE or visit factbus.com. FACT, your community, your connection.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Cooler temperatures may be on the way, but you can still enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturers and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings 724-554-6067 for a no-cost or obligation home consultation. Or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Your mental health is your most valuable asset. With 55 years of experience serving Western Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services is ready and able to assist you with all of your mental health needs. Offering over 20 specialized treatments, open access, and just-in-time scheduling means that you receive the treatment you need in a time-conscious fashion. Chestnut Ridge Counseling now offers telehealth, mental health urgent care with immediate access to a mental health professional with no appointment necessary. Call 724-437-0729. That's 724-437-0729 for mental health urgent care at Chestnut Ridge Counseling. Outpatient care options include individual, group, and family therapies, mental health and psychiatric evaluations, and medication services. Outpatient care and services are also available for patients under the age of 18, geared towards youth-centric problems and concerns. Take control of your mental health care with Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services. Call 724-437-0729 to set up an appointment or speak immediately with a mental health professional.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borge Jr.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
WNBS.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is Open Conversation, 724-438-4593. All right, I was just informed that the Senate did pass the budget by a vote of 40 yeas, 9 nays, and 1 no. I don't know the difference between a no and a nay, but there you go. Governor Shapiro is scheduled to sign the budget into law at 2:45, so about an hour from now, at which point he'll have remarks. You know how politicians are. So I'm also told that Senator Stefano did vote yes or yay on the budget. So we can put all that into the mix and talk about it as well. So something else from my talking points here or possible list. I found this earlier. So it's a nonprofit called Unleash Prosperity. And they've taken a lot of data from the Census Bureau and the IRS where their figures from 2013 to 2022, the state of New York lost $517 billion in resident income. In other words, residents of New York leaving the state of New York and moving elsewhere. So, and they take into account, it's not just the year that they have left with this income, and it's an accumulation, a cumulative effect. So if a family left in 2013, well, they're counting 10 years of that family's salary not being in New York. So $517.5 billion in New York. New Jersey, $170.1 billion left for greener pastures. California, $370 billion, and Illinois, $315 billion. The largest growth states, that garnered the largest resident income, the state of Florida, $1 trillion. Texas, $290 billion. So this is all attributed to, basically the high taxes associated with these four states that I mentioned, New York, New Jersey, California, Illinois, moving to lower or no tax states such as Florida and Texas. So, and by the way, there you get the population shift as well. That's why California and New York lost representatives in Congress this last census, this last realignment, and Florida and Texas gained. So that's all part of that. This one's kind of interesting as well. I'm sure there's more studies to go along with this. But Intermountain Health in Salt Lake City, Utah, they kind of stumbled across some data, which I think is going to lead to a lot more studies here. But basically, they have found that the supplement vitamin D3, I don't know if that's a subset of, vitamin D. I don't know how that works. But vitamin D3 significantly reduces the chance of a second heart attack. So not that it helps reduce heart attacks in general, just that if you've already had a heart attack and you're taking D3, that significantly reduces the chance of you having a second heart attack. So interesting. Might want to follow up on that somewhat. 724-438-4593. Let's take a phone call here. Hello. Welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Afternoon, Russ. How are you?
Good. How are you today, James?
Good. Hey, I would like to comment on yesterday's program.
Okay.
Just off the top, listening to that, Russ, I really appreciated it. It was something where, I think you did well leaving George come on and speak and remembering veterans. It was a conservative and a Democrat getting together and honoring our veterans and remembering Veterans Day. And that's the way I think it should be. There wasn't any hatred. There was a admiration and respect by both parties. I think, you guys need to be commended on that and commended on your service. And your son is serving now. So, I respect and thank all of you for your service.
Well, thanks, James.
So that being said, this got me to thinking was, how there is, even with you're talking about the budget, and I'll try and go through this quick. The impasse that we have isn't with Republicans and Democrats. The impasse that we have is with liberals and MAGA. This is why these people couldn't get along, and you had the longest shut down in the country's history, is because there was no meeting in the middle. There was hatred on liberals and hatred on MAGA, and this is why you're there. And this leads me to even, apologize to people on this radio station like George and Rich and Doc and everybody, because in 2016, when I voted for Mr. Trump, I listened to the rhetoric, and you get caught up in it, and you start to hate that opposition. And I think, as a Christian, you can't do that. And luckily, I've kind of seen the light, and you can't hate people just because they're an R or a D or an I. That's just idiotic. But the rhetoric has become that. And even speaking to somebody who knows John Marietta, I was talking to this person, and he said, John 10 years ago, 5 years ago, wasn't like that. He said, if you listen to the radio, he was on there with pastors, and they were talking about things. He says he wasn't the persona that he is now. And we kind of both agreed that, yeah, because when he gets around Sean Kavanaugh, who hates Vince Vecidis, when he gets around Melanie Patterson, who hates anybody who is an independent or Democrat or even a Republican that isn't MAGA, that's hate. You see this, and we're going to get into that in a second. And then you get Melanie Llewellyn, who has hate and says that all Democrats are condemned to hell, and this is hate. This is a hateful rhetoric, and this is what is a shame. And I think we're going to see in the months and years if this is gotten away from, or if this just continued to get ramped up. Because even recently, last night, Laura Ingraham, I don't know if you've ever watched that show or not.
Occasionally. Yeah,
Okay.
And again, it's occasionally. It's not an every
Right.
night thing. It's not even once a week type of thing. It's
Right.
occasionally.
She's one of the ones that if I get in a mood, I can watch her program. Okay, I can't get into Hannity and all that, but I could watch her program coming from the conservative end. But there was President Trump was on there, and I've spoken against him. But this is one thing that I kind of scratch my head at, because he was on there saying that, and I don't know if you've caught this on press releases, but he was on there saying that he would be okay with H1 visas.
Okay, H1, I think it's H1B1.
Yeah, visas for people. He said we need those coming into the country because we don't have enough talented people at this time to fill some of these positions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, looking at that, they picked him apart, and they said, well, but you're picking on the, But I think he has a point there. There's some positions that you could...
Well, yeah, I did catch that last night, and it was part of her long interview with him.
Okay.
So where he said you can't take somebody off the employment line and put them directly into a factory that's making our missiles.
Right. Now, Okay. Now, this is what he has said. And he also said, now, this is going to be done legally. Okay, these foreigners will be coming here legally and going through the process. Now, that's not what bothers me, Russ. What bothers me isn't what he said. What bothers me is how a lot of MAGA have reacted. They have reacted saying, we're going through the roof. They're taking our jobs. We don't want them in. And to me, here comes that little word again, hate. Mm-hmm. Because now you hated the people coming in that are illegal, but now these people come in and legally and are working here, and you still hate.
Yeah.
It doesn't to me, that says that it doesn't matter if they're here legally or illegally.
Yeah, and I got to go here because I got to get this last break in. But, that has always, when it comes to the H-1B1 visas, that's always been this. So this is nothing new. It's
know.
always been there. They're taking our jobs, and they're coming in, and they're being paid less to take our jobs, and so that's where the argument is.
Are they though?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's what the argument is.
I know. That's
James,
what
I got to run, though. Thanks for your call. Bye-bye. Hey, this is What's on Your Mind. Going to take a quick little break. When I come back, you and I together, we're going to close out hour one of What's on Your Mind right after this.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like John from Morgantown. John had such extreme numbness and pain that he was having difficulty feeling his car pedals. Then John discovered Tri-State Neuropathy Centers and their effective FDA-approved treatment program that has no drugs, is non-invasive and painless. John's great results have given his freedom back, and he's doing the things he wants, like simply driving or cutting the grass. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help John, along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 304-777-2068. That's 304-777-2068. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
At this season of gratitude, heartfelt thanks go out to every customer and community member for once again voting Economy Furnace the best in Fayette 3 years in a row. This recognition is more than an award. It reflects the trust, loyalty, and support shown by those who continue to choose and recommend Economy Furnace. Each service call, installation, and conversation has built lasting relationships that make our community stronger. Economy is proud to partner with Amana, also known for excellence, and Economy is also excited to offer 0% financing and other low financing options. The dedication to providing reliable comfort and quality workmanship is inspired by the confidence placed in Economy Furnace year after year. This Thanksgiving, appreciation extends to everyone that has made this achievement possible. The Economy Furnace teams wishes each of you a blessed time of Thanksgiving. We are certainly thankful for you.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
For the best lunch spot in town, visit Titlow Tavern and Grill on West Main Street in Uniontown. Serving up lunch including daily specials and daily dinner specials, including Wednesday pasta and parm nights with chicken parm for $15 and veal parm for $19. And half-priced apps and $1 off drinks during happy hour Tuesday through Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. and Saturday from 9 to 10. Titlows is also booking private parties. Call them today, 724-437-6749, or order online.
Tune in to WMBS Saturday mornings at 8:20 for Your Financial Future with Gary Boatman, certified financial planner, investment advisory representative, syndicated columnist, and author, as he addresses such income issues as planning for retirement, future health care expenses, avoiding financial pitfalls, and much more. That's Your Financial Future with Gary Boatman, Saturday mornings at 8:20 right here on WMBS, where Gary Boatman welcomes your calls at 724-243-3075. That's 724-243-3075.
This is attorney Michael Mays of the Davis & Davis Law Firm. We have been helping injured people just like you recover millions of dollars for over 45 years. If you're hurt or injured, I want to meet you and make sure you get the money that you deserve. Call me at 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. The Davis & Davis Law Firm has been protecting our neighbors in Greene and Fayette counties for over 45 years. Go to davisanddavislaw.com or call 724-437-2799 for your free consultation.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. We've got, a little over a minute, maybe a minute and a half of conversation time available to us. Give me a call, 724-438-4593. I want to touch a little bit on what James was talking about, the animosity between the ultra-left and the MAGA right. You know, I understand what he's saying, and yes, there's rhetoric from both sides that needs to stop, but I'll say this. I think far more of it comes from the left than it does from the right. And I'll bring into an example, just, Turning Point, they had their last campus rally the other night at the campuses of UC Berkeley, a hotbed of liberalism. And just the protesting and the vitriol that took place on that. And comedian, I think his name, Rob Schneider, was one of the talkers of that. He's a Trump supporter. He knew Charlie Kirk and everything. He talks about when he was part of Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary. And he's up on stage, and Robert De Niro is there. And he gets pushed, shoved, bumps into De Niro. De Niro turns around, calls him out by name, and says, "How can you possibly support Donald Trump?" And he used another name. And Rob Schneider responded with, "Hey, Robert, I love you." And it shut him down. So there's the difference. But we'll talk more about that next hour. In the meantime, CBS News is next. This is WMBS Uniontown. It's 2 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington, where the government shutdown will likely come to an end later this evening. The House is back in session, and a vote will take place a few hours from now on a spending bill to get things moving again. CBS's Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
Once it gets to the floor, there will be a couple of procedural votes that have to take place first that will give us an indication of whether or not this bill is on the right path. And if so, we will see that final vote at some point later this evening. We expect it to take maybe 2 to 3 hours before we see that final vote.
And even if the shutdown does end today, it may take a bit to get the airlines back on track. WBZ reporter James Rojas is at Boston's Logan Airport.
Tragic what's happening with our nation, but I haven't been inconvenienced yet.
It's that yet part that has folks flying out, keeping their fingers crossed and their eyes on their flight status.
I don't think I've ever looked at the flight information as much as I have.
The House Oversight Committee released several emails claiming President Trump knew about the girls involved in Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking ring. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on the defensive in today's press briefing.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out.
But still, legal analyst Lori Levinson says,
even without any legal problems, this certainly would pose a substantial political problem for Donald Trump, because everybody has been waiting to hear, was he knowingly involved in Epstein's illegal conduct?
A House vote calling for the full release of the Epstein files could come early next month. FBI Director Kash Patel says he visited China last week and they agreed to stop fentanyl precursors. Those are the chemicals used to make the deadly drug. He says by China tightening the control, the drug trafficking organization's ability to manufacture fentanyl in places like Mexico would be stopped. Well, there will be no more new pennies. Jim Kursula says the mint is pressing its last one today.
It costs nearly 4 cents to make a penny, and President Donald Trump has ordered its cancellation. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia has been making pennies since 1793. Over the last 100 years, half of the coins made at U.S. mints in Philadelphia and Denver have been pennies.
And many of those are likely in your couch cushions or in between your car seats. Checking Wall Street, the Dow's in a good place this afternoon, up 380 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's a day that ends in Y, so it's a day that you might decide you don't want to cook. That means it's the perfect day to order Fat Angelo's. Offering delicious pizzas, salads, hoagies, strombolis and calzones, wings, and more. And with 12 locations across the area ready to serve you, today is the day to visit FatAngelosPizza.com, where you can quickly and conveniently find your local shop and place your order online. Or get the local phone number and give them a call. Order up!
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
What's Sean Diddy Combs' life like so far behind bars?
Former rap mogul Sean Combs is spending his early prison days working as a chaplain's assistant and has enrolled in an intensive drug treatment program, according to prison documents exclusively obtained by CBS News. He has also found himself facing disciplinary action for an unauthorized phone call and could lose his phone and commissary privileges. Combs was moved to the Fort Dix prison in New Jersey on October 30th after being sentenced to more than 4 years on prostitution-related charges. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
McDonald's has brought back the McRib for a limited time in several major cities across the country.
McRib? I don't see any bones.
For those not in the know, the name is deceiving, as there are no ribs or bones at all. Just a seasoned, boneless pork patty slathered in barbecue sauce, topped with onions and pickles.
Well, how about it?
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Now the local, district, and statewide news. Being brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant Dieter. Keeping you warm and cozy in winter and cool and comfortable in summer with a quality Bryant gas furnace or air conditioning system. And now the news.
Good afternoon. It's 2:05. It is mostly sunny and 53 outside the Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Injured, call today for your free consultation, 724-437-2799. Your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. I'm TJ DeStefano. Sports and weather follow the news. Pennsylvania's 135-day budget impasse is over. The $50.1 billion budget was passed by the state House 156-47 and the state Senate 40-9 today. Governor Josh Shapiro will sign the budget and make remarks at 2:45 this afternoon. Under the new budget, spending would rise by about $2.5 billion or 5%. Billions in surplus cash will be required for the plan to balance the second straight year that Pennsylvania is running a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit. A key concession was Democrats agreeing to Republican demands to back off any effort to make Pennsylvania the only major fossil fuel producing state to force power plant owners to pay for their planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions. A man has been arrested after authorities say he rammed a police cruiser following a chase in Fayette County Sunday. The incident started after state police found a stolen vehicle in Luzerne Township. James Delgado led police on a chase from Route 166 at New Salem Road to Clover Street in Brownsville Borough. Delgado then allegedly rammed the police cruiser before jumping out of the stolen vehicle and running into the woods. He was later caught and arrested. State police say he is facing numerous charges. A 16-year-old boy was shot in the head in Monessen on Tuesday night. The shooting happened near the intersection of Linden Avenue and Rostraver Street. Police found the boy conscious and alert. He was then flown to UPMC Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh and is expected to survive. The Westmoreland County District Attorney's Office said one person was taken into custody for the shooting. No further information has been released. Federal investigators will hold a meeting next week to determine what caused a cargo ship to collide with a bridge in Baltimore. Here's more from Rory O'Neill.
The National Transportation Safety Board says the container ship Dali lost power and slammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in March of 2024. Its collapse killed 6 construction workers on an overnight shift. The board will vote on its findings and safety recommendations during a public meeting next Tuesday. Work on a replacement to the Key Bridge continues with a potential opening date in late 2028. I'm Rory O'Neill.
WMBS time is 2:08. We'll check sports and weather after this.
439-2323. For 24-hour emergency service, call us when you need. We're Fayette's Heating and Air Conditioning, your service company.
Be prepared for bone-chilling winter weather. Have Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning install a Bryant high-efficiency furnace in your home to replace that old worn-out system you now have. Choose Bryant's Plus 90 gas furnace or other quality heating system to keep yourself and your family warm and toasty this winter. Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning will also keep your present furnace running at peak efficiency with their 15-point safety check and cleaning. Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning today for your appointment. 724-439-2323. That's Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer, Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall.
Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323.
In sports, busy weekend on the North Shore of Pittsburgh, as 2 football games will be taking place. Saturday, number 23 Pitt will host number 9 Notre Dame with the college game day there. Kickoff at noon at Acrisure Stadium. We'll have the game as well on WMBS. And on Sunday, the Steelers, they'll host the Cincinnati Bengals at Acrisure. Kickoff is at 1 Sunday afternoon here on WMBS.
The local district and statewide news has been brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer. Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall. Phone 439-2323.
This Weather Watch is being brought to you by the Health Insurance Store in Connellsville. The Medicare open enrollment season runs from October 15th through December 7th. Make sure you have the right plan for 2026. Call the Health Insurance Store, 724-603-3403 today. And now to the weather. And we'll see clouds and sun the rest of the afternoon. 54 will be our high. Partly cloudy tonight. Slight chance of a shower. 36. Sunny and 53 tomorrow. Right now, it's mostly sunny and 52 outside the Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios at 2:10 on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm TJ DeStefano. Up next, hour 2 of What's on Your Mind with Russ Rhodes here on WMBS. This Weather Watch has been brought to you by the Health Insurance Store in Connellsville. The Medicare open enrollment season runs from October 15th through December 7th. Make sure you have the right plan for 2026. Call the Health Insurance Store, 724-603-3403 today.
You may have noticed a new internet company knocking at your door with claims like, "I'm not here to sell you anything," or "I wouldn't lie to you." The truth is, Armstrong has played an important role in your community for decades, and we're not going anywhere. That new internet provider will probably change their name, get bought out by another company, or fold completely. Armstrong, the internet you count on, the people you trust. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com today or anytime in the future.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more, because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at Gary'sAutoSales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
Are you considering a project design and don't know where to start? K2 Engineering offers a wide range of professional civil, architectural, and municipal services to meet your individual project needs. Our versatility combined with our personalized approach is what sets us apart as a full-service engineering and consultation firm. To learn more about our services, please visit us on the web at www.k2engineering.net. K2 Engineering, where customer service is our priority.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare. Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
They're all coming to your house again for the holidays. Your favorite aunt and uncle from out of town. Friends from across the state. Remember last Thanksgiving when Joe seemed to eat more turkey and stuffing than the chair could support? Remember when the table legs seemed to cry out with all the food weighing it down? Wouldn't it be nice to enjoy a hearty dinner amongst all your family and friends while sitting around a charming dining set from Chesler's Fine Furniture and not having to hold your breath every time someone sits down? Chesler's can make it all possible with a wide variety of graceful and pleasing styles that will offer elegance for your dining area. If you are looking for a formal set, select a two-tone gray and oak set sale priced at $19.99 with a matching buffet at $12.99. Maybe you just need a small 5-piece set. They are priced starting at $5.99. Chesler's has a large selection of 3, 5, and 7-piece sets ready for immediate delivery. Credit terms and delivery are available. Chesler's Fine Furniture, where customers send their friends.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Bortz Jr.
Your local station, WMVS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of What's on Your Mind. I'm your host, Russ Rhodes. We're going to continue with the open conversation this hour. Give me a buzz on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. We are this hour being brought to you by Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping, Gary's Auto Sales, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, Hicks and Baugh's Drugstore, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Coldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty, K2 Engineering, and Tireman's Auto Garage. Okay, we have a Pennsylvania budget. The governor in about a half hour, a little less, is supposed to sign the $50.1 billion budget. It's about a $2.5 billion more in spending this year than last year, or about 4.7% increase. It is, although taxes are not being raised, it is a deficit spending budget to fill the holes and make it balanced. The governor and the legislature, they're taking a lot of money from the surplus funds to balance it. But it is a deficit spending budget. Make no mistake on that. The two members of the General Assembly from Fayette County, Ryan Warner and Charity Grimm-Krupa, they voted no in the House, which overall voted 156-47 to pass. The Senate, it passed 40-9 with one voting no. I don't know the difference between a nay and a no, but that's how it's being recorded. Senator Pat Stefano from the 32nd Senatorial District and covers all of Fayette County, voted yes on that legislation. The U.S. government shutdown looks like it's coming to an end. The House is back in session today. They're debating and possibly voting later today on it. I do not know if there's going to be any amendments. If so, then it goes back to the Senate for their consideration. The penny, 1 cent, that, copper coin in your pocket. The U.S. government will no longer be making new pennies after today. It costs about 4 cents to create 1 penny. It'll save the government $56 million a year in minting that those pennies. Currently, the Treasury estimates there's 300 billion pennies in circulation. A brand new bridge in China fell. Unleashed prosperity, says New York, New Jersey, California, and Illinois in the last 10 years have lost I'll just say a ton of money from families fleeing their state. A finding by a health company in Salt Lake City seems to think that the supplement D3 would significantly reduce the chance of a second heart attack. And then finally, and I forgot to bring this up on the first hour, McDonald's is bringing back the McRib sandwich for a limited time. So they do that occasionally, and it's always, I hate it. It doesn't belong on McDonald's, and others, I love it. I'm glad it's back. So what's your what do you think about the McRib? We'll add that to the conversation. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hi, Russ. This is Mary.
Hey, Mary.
I want to ask you, is the sheriff's office up in the new prison or what?
No, the sheriff's office is in the courthouse.
Oh, it's still in there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad because I called everybody in the courthouse. Nobody answers today. But another thing I wanted to tell you is I was making waffles this morning. I got a call that somebody was trying to do $900 and some on my Walmart card, which I didn't have.
Okay.
And for me to press 1. So I pressed 1, and this guy, you couldn't understand him or anything. He kept clicking. And I said, I want to talk to an English person. He said, oh, you think I'm China? And then he hung up. So it's another scam.
Yes. Yeah, they're, you know what, if you, and this is not just you, Mary, but anybody, you get a call like that, you're suspicious about, you know what, hang up and call your own bank. You make the call. Don't listen to anybody who calls you.
Yeah.
And especially if they ask you to, hey, could you verify what your credit card number is or your bank account number?
I know.
Yeah, if they're asking you for that information and say, hey, I need you to verify this, just say, yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Well, my daughter flipped out on me. She said you shouldn't have pressed 1 because it's nothing but a scam.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
All right, Russ. Thanks a lot.
All righty, Mary. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I will admit that I have had fun with scammers at times. I'll string them along, and I have some fun with it. I've actually, when I know it's a scammer coming on my phone, I'll answer it with the name of some law enforcement company, agency. Hello, FBI, whatever, whatever it might be. And that gets them off the phone real quick. So, yeah, but watch yourself. I mean, we are, especially now that we're heading into the holiday seasons, the scams are going to get hot and heavy. People asking for, pretending to be a charity and asking for a donation, that type of thing. Again, unless you are making the phone call yourself, unless you are calling the store, unless you're calling the bank, unless you are calling a charity to make a donation, don't hand out your information. Don't even if somebody calls and leaves a message and say, hey, this is so-and-so, it's such and such, and it sounds legitimate. Hey, give me a call back. I need to discuss your account with you. Don't call them back. Don't use that number that they give you. Don't use the number they leave behind. Go to the back of your bank card. There's a phone number on the back of your bank card. I guarantee it. Small as it may be, I guarantee you there's a legitimate phone number that you want to call for your debit card, your bank card, any credit card. You call that number. Don't give your information to anybody that calls you. I'm begging, please. I don't want you to have a bad Christmas because somebody scammed you out of money. I want you to have a great holiday season. So, all righty. I left last hour commenting on James's phone call. And, he is right. The nastiness that exists on both sides has got to stop. It honestly does. Having said that, my own personal opinion, yours might be different, but mine is that is far more on the left than it is on the right. I mean, I brought up Turning Point at UC Berkeley. People there protesting, and there were like 6 arrests or something from some violence that took place there. And as Governor Newsom of California says, there were 6 arrests out of 900 people. Well, there shouldn't have been any arrest. But regardless, I guess, had things been turned around, had that been, say, Bernie Sanders and AOC and Jasmine Crockett at, we'll say Hillsdale College. Hillsdale College is a conservative college, or even Grove City, I think, is more of a conservative college. If they were there doing an event, you wouldn't see the protesting that you saw at UC Berkeley. It's like, you have your right. It's free speech. Yeah, you can come on our campus. You can try and convince us. You can talk about your values and what you see. You can have the opportunity to change our minds. But we so often don't see that anymore. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hello, Russ.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah, I thought everybody burned up the phone lines with the both budgets being passed. But no, you said look at the phone lines were open, so I thought I'd give you a little call.
There you go.
Yeah. Russ. About 1:45, I came back from Uniontown, the Republic, and I tell you what, I saw a front page news story here for the Herald Standard. We have that. They got the food bank here, the Fayette County Food Bank from the Community Action.
Yeah.
And they brought in some little building, and there was actually a traffic jam down there in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a great photograph, and it had to be a news story there. But, when you call the Herald Standard, and nobody wants to answer the phone, like, who cares what you think?
Mm-hmm.
There's no sense even bother calling that newspaper. But that's a shame. That was a front page news story there, but they don't even want to pick up the phone anymore.
Yeah. Unless you're there, unless you're calling to place an ad, and that's a totally different phone number.
Yeah. That's about it. That's just disgusting, man. I mean, a newspaper, they give you, talk to the phone, or they just hit the delete button and kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's a real downer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, the second thing is, because I caught Jimmy Kimmel last night, of course.
Okay.
He had his name Cleto. I believe he's I guess his band leader, I guess, passed away.
You got me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was on the news. Evidently, he really was broke up about it. He went on, his whole monologue went up about it. I guess he's a lifelong friend and whatnot. I understand that, but my God, the man was 58 years old, had been in the hospital for a couple months. And, just the way he's talked, he was so unfair. And I got a feeling he's going to lay his lawsuit against God for malpractice or something.
Okay.
That'll teach God to mess with those people from Hollywood, California.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, Russ, I went down to the local funeral home. I paid for my funeral, of course.
Yeah.
Prepaid. Russ, you gotta realize, there's more sand at the bottom of the hourglass than there's the top. But, you gotta realize when it's coming. I sometimes don't understand people. You don't realize that, you just so broke up like that. But,
hey, I can understand, I don't watch Jimmy Fallon, so I don't know who his band leader was, but it sounds like they were close friends. So, okay, I can understand being broken up. And, I understand that. But to blame somebody or to blame whatever, death is, we're here on this earth for a finite amount of time.
Correct.
And, so much of it is wasted by hatred, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Okay, that's all I got for today, Russ.
Okay, Mark, thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hey, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, sir. How are you?
It's one of those mean-spirited, argumentative, woke kind of people calling you.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
I didn't say you were. I didn't say you were.
No, I'll cop to it. But anyhow, I was listening to Representative Krupa talking about the data center situation.
Yeah.
And she is correct. Those places they have a voracious appetite for power.
Sure.
And I think one of the challenges for a representative would be, how does she insulate the average consumer today from the need for expanding the power of tomorrow to accommodate the data centers? When they're talking about in terms of gigawatts of power being needed, you're talking about many power plants that have to be built, and you're talking about enormous capital expenditure. So the obvious question is, who pays for that?
Well, I think what you're kind of forgetting here, though, is the number of power plants in Pennsylvania that have been closed over the last 10 years because of regulations coming out of Harrisburg. We had our very own Hatfield closed down after they spent millions of dollars to get their emissions to the point where they were at, 95% clean. And then the state says, well, you need to get up to 97.5% clean. And it was going to cost the company millions and millions of dollars more just to get up that extra 2.5%. So they ended up closing down. You have Indiana power plant that just closed down recently. So all these power plants closing down that is no longer supplying energy into the grid. But at the same time, you have these data centers that are starting to pop up that we're being told are going to consume all kinds of energy in order to operate. Yes, do we need to get things up and running again? Infrastructure? Absolutely. But maybe it wouldn't have been so urgent had regulations not become so stringent.
Well, your information is erroneous, Mr. Rhodes. The reason that Hatfield closed down was not because of environmental regulations.
Yes, it is. And we've talked about. Go ahead. But we've talked about this before, and you're wrong.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not, and I'll tell you why this is on record. Now, I attended the meeting, and it was held in Waynesburg, and the people in attendance were a lot of the political mucky-mucks and some of the suits from First Energy, and they explained that it was not environmental reasons why they were shutting down. Why they were shutting down was, and you're going to hate this, we had deregulation come along in 1990s. And the decision was made by some of these power companies to go outside the protective arm or umbrella of the Public Utility Commission, and they were going to become independent merchants. They were known as the merchant fleet, and they frankly lost their ass in that endeavor. Hatfield was hemorrhaging money. Other power plants that had embarked upon the same course business decision also were hemorrhaging money. So it was an economic decision. Plus, Hatfield was like, 60-year-old facility, roughly. So your information, but that doesn't answer the question of now, who pays for the expansion of the grid and who pays for the increased capacity to accommodate the data centers? That is the question.
Yeah, it is. And I believe some, now maybe not all of them, but I think some of them, and I don't know if this pertains to those in Pennsylvania, part of the construction of these data centers is their own contained power plants.
Okay, and I think that would be appropriate. They are the consumers of the power. They, the average person, I'm sure none of your listeners are saying, geez, I wish I had more power available so I could use it. Actually, most people are trying to conserve power to keep their bills lower. So, yeah, it would be very appropriate that the people who are consuming the power would have sited generation. That would be generation that was dedicated to that facility and funded by that particular corporation. So I guess we agree on something.
So, but it wouldn't have been so urgent had these other plants not been forced to close down. And by the way,
They were not forced to close. Mr. Rose, they were not
you know
forced
what?
to close.
I'm just looking here right now. I'm online and I'm looking up stuff that says the Hatfield Power Station closed in 2013 due to the cost of complying with environmental regulations.
Not true.
Well, you know, and that's how it was reported in the newspapers as well. So,
Well, yeah.
you know, I guess you've got your take on the situation, Bill, and I've got my take on the situation. And we'll let everybody else in between decide how it's going to go.
Okay.
But-
well,
all
I would reference you to the meeting that was held in Waynesburg at the college, and let's see, who was our representative there? Her name escapes me, but anyhow, the gentleman from the
Well, it was back in Waynesburg at that time. It would have been either Bill DeWeese or Pam Snyder.
It was Pam Snyder. It was beyond Bill DeWeese's period of time. So Pam Snyder was in attendance, and I believe it was a meeting of the commerce arm of our government. And the gentleman from the representatives from the power company clearly stated, no, this is not an environmental issue.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So, hey, have a good day.
You too. Bye. Hello. Welcome to What's on Your Mind.
So just like Cash for Clunkers, right, what they did was said, hey, yeah, we're getting rid of these cars, and not only are you getting rid of them, but we're going to destroy the car so it can't have parts taken from the engine from a junkyard. They did the same regulatory destruction of the power plants, whether it's in Indiana, Ohio, along Route 7, where you used to drive underneath the power plant, or Homer City, right? It's all the same thing. Hey, they're going away, but they're not only going away, but you have to deconstruct them.
Yeah.
That's what leftists do. Karl Marx said it, from his point of view, said it best when he said, everything that exists deserves to perish. And leftists today are still doing the same thing. They don't build anything. They don't make anything. They just destroy everything. And that's why our bills are where they are. To put every every regulatory decision made across the country on coal-fired power plants on one meeting at Williamsburg University, it's just a little laughable.
All right.
But it's the same thing. Holy cow! I hate when somebody gets me worked up like that. But the Epstein emails. Isn't it convenient that now in the email that they're breaking news with today, it says victim? Because they don't want to say it's the poor young lady that committed suicide because she had to go through all this mess. And they don't want to use her name because you can't ask her any questions now because she's already answered the questions.
I don't know if that's the one, because there's a lot of young women involved in that, Jake. So I don't know if that's who they're specifically talking about. And this whole thing, I know there's supposedly communication between Epstein and Maxine that Trump was there and he knew what was going on. I don't know. This is still developing. But hey, Jake, I got to run. I just noticed I'm way behind on schedule here to get a break in. But thanks for your call today.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Hey, we'll be right back after this.
Attention Medicare eligible recipients. The Medicare open enrollment period for 2026 runs from October 15th until December 7th. This is the time to call local agent Brenda Myers at 724-437-7255 and let her show you the various Medicare Advantage plans and Part D prescription drug plans and see which best fits your current healthcare needs and your budget. Brenda will also update you on the changes for 2026 and how they will affect you. With many years' experience, Brenda Myers can help you decide which plan will work best for you. Brenda Myers has been helping Medicare beneficiaries with their health care insurance for many years and represents a variety of companies to offer you more choices. This open enrollment period is your opportunity to make changes to your health care plan and save money. Call Brenda Myers today at 724-437-7255. That's 724-437-7255 for Brenda Myers.
At this season of gratitude, heartfelt thanks go out to every customer and community member for once again voting Economy Furnace the best in Fayette 3 years in a row. This recognition is more than an award. It reflects the trust, loyalty, and support shown by those who continue to choose and recommend Economy Furnace. Each service call, installation, and conversation has built lasting relationships that make our community stronger. Economy is proud to partner with Amana, also known for excellence, and Economy is also excited to offer 0% financing and other low financing options. The dedication to providing reliable comfort and quality workmanship is inspired by the confidence placed in Economy Furnace year after year. This Thanksgiving, appreciation extends to everyone that has made this achievement possible. The Economy Furnace teams wishes each of you a blessed time of Thanksgiving. We are certainly thankful for you.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Uniontown Liquidation Outlet wants to thank you for borrowing our special Fayette 2025. Come shop with us for the lowest prices around. We have toys, home goods, tools, electronics, and much more. We offer layaway, so stop in today and ask us how it works. We are located inside the Uniontown Mall.
The Uniontown Liquidation Outlet. Visit us on Facebook, Uniontown Liquidation Outlet.
Hope to see you soon.
It's a new day at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, and we're bringing a new level of quality health care to our community. From primary care to specialty services, our team has always put patients first. And now, thanks to our merger with WVU Medicine, our commitment to patient-centered care has grown even stronger. With new resources, a growing staff, and advanced technology, our team is here to provide you with top quality care when it matters most.
Discover the new Uniontown Hospital and see how we've grown.
Having Hickson Boss Drugstore in Uniontown means reliability, quality, and service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller gladly answer healthcare questions and take care of your prescription needs. This is flu season. Call Hickson Boss at 724-437-2828 and ask about flu shot availability and other vaccines. Free prescription delivery, mail-out service, and dependable, courteous service are Hickson Boss' way of doing business. Hickson Boss Drugstore, 304 Morgantown Street. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday till 3, closed Sunday.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
WNBS.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. I got a caller on line too, but real quick. On July 9th, 2013, First Energy announced they would be shutting down Hatfield Ferry by October 9th. The company decided against investing $245 million to retrofit Hatfield's ferry in order to comply with the Environmental Protection Agency's mercury and air toxic standards. So, hey, maybe, there was that public gathering and they said they were closing down for whatever reason. Maybe they've told two different versions. I'm going off of this one. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Oh, God. I used to listen about both on the radio. They said even...
Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot a button. I'm sorry. Start again. Who am I talking with?
Tony from Union.
Hey, Tony. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Hey, the reason I was calling, I've been listening to people talking about Hatfield. And you had a caller on there, John, who I know very well.
Uh-huh.
Who was pretty much right.
Okay.
But the root of the problem, Hatfield was shut down over market, not pollution. Hatfield had all the state-of-the-art pollution controls. It was shut down because it wasn't marketable. Now, the root of the problem of why it wasn't marketable goes back many years to when the PUC deregulated electricity, power production. Okay? And at that time, I was on your radio station talking about it, and it was called stranded costs. When we built power plants way back when, they had a guaranteed market, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we could afford to build them. Now, up until deregulation, Hatfield was one of the cheapest power plants in the Allegheny power system to generate. Usually we tied every once in a while with Fort Martin.
Mm-hmm.
But between Fort Martin and Hatfield, that was the cheapest electricity out of Allegheny Power, West Penn Power.
Okay.
When this deregulation occurred, what John was talking about is correct. All these independents started going crazy. California was a prime example. And at the same time, Allegheny Power, who was basically run by people that had come up through the ranks, engineers, people that understood the business. Well, a new person came in. His name was Al Noya. Al Noya was a financial guy, okay? And he got us, Allegheny Power, tied up with all this garbage that was going on and basically ran Allegheny Power into the ground.
Okay.
We were tied up. He was buying power plants in Indiana. He was buying power plants all over the place. And he just run the company into the ground. At that point, I took early retirement because basically Allegheny Power reached a point where they couldn't afford to pay the people that have been around for many years, and they offered early retirements to get the old people out. Unfortunately, First Energy took over, and First Energy started shutting down a lot of Allegheny Power's smaller power plants. And this is all tied into this deregulation, this market, and all that's going on. And people just, they were predicting, this is back when this started, typically a megawatt of electricity, the market price for a megawatt of electricity was $30. That was typical. It fluctuated in winter, summers, depending on load. They were predicting that megawatt electricity would go up to $180. That's why all these people got nuts.
Who was predicting it was go up?
The financial people
at First Energy.
No, not just First Energy. This was nationwide.
Okay.
This was a big thing. It involved that, and I'm trying to think of the name of the company, Enron. Enron was part of it. Well, Allegheny Power even got tied in with Enron, which contributed a lot of.
One of the biggest bankruptcies in U.S. history.
Yeah, and also lawsuits.
Right.
Because of contracts with California. So that's the root cause. If that deregulation went away or never happened, Hatfield, and John was right, it's a very old power plant. It was a very old power plant. But I can testify because I was responsible for it. Hatfield was being modernized.
Right.
Many of the critical components were replaced. Like all the turbine generators were state-of-the-art, brand new. They were totally replaced. They were not old. They were brand new.
Yeah.
Much of the boiler components that were critical were replaced. And, it's technical, but a lot of headers and stuff like that that have a life were replaced. And Hatfield probably could have run for another 30 years and been efficient.
Okay.
But that's where the problem is. The problem occurred with deregulation. And as far as who's going to pay for all these new power lines and stuff, in part John's right, but in part he's wrong. Because it's not just the new power load that's going to cause problems. All the old lines are bad.
Right. Okay.
I know even when I left Hatfield has 3 power main lines that came out of it. Okay? 3 500 kV lines.
Okay.
Many times in the summer, we would have to derate the units, back them down, because the lines would overheat. There was so much load, we would have to back the units down because the lines couldn't carry the electricity we were generating.
Okay.
And that all came about as part of deregulation.
Okay.
That's the whole root cause of all of it.
So to me, it sounds like then, Tony, and thank you for giving us a greater in-depth history, if you will. So it sounds to me it was a combination of both EPA regulations and financial reasons.
Well, partially true.
And because of deregulation. So it's going to go both ways. So, John's right, but I'm right. It's a mixture of the two.
Well, the part with the EPA, that's what I said.
Yeah.
When Hatfield was closed, Hatfield had installed all state-of-the-art pollution control equipment.
Yes, but it's my understanding, though, that wasn't enough. The EPA came back and said, oh, no, we need you to have it this much more cleaner. And it was that $247 million that First Energy didn't want to invest because, well, obviously the return on investment wasn't going to be there.
That's what they said.
Yeah. So,
well,
all right.
That $247 million was for pollution controls on things that were not being controlled at the time.
All right.
Heavy metals and carbon.
Okay.
So that's where it was.
All right, Tony. Well, hey, I got to run. I thank you for your call, and I look forward to your next call.
All righty.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll close out hour 2 of What's on Your Mind together with another call, maybe 724-438-4593.
Your mental health is your most valuable asset. With 55 years of experience serving Western Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services is ready and able to assist you with all of your mental health needs. Offering over 20 specialized treatments, open access, and just-in-time scheduling means that you receive the treatment you need in a time-conscious fashion. Chestnut Ridge Counseling now offers telehealth, mental health urgent care with immediate access to a mental health professional with no appointment necessary. Call 724-437-0729. That's 724-437-0729 for mental health urgent care at Chestnut Ridge Counseling. Outpatient care options include individual, group, and family therapies, mental health and psychiatric evaluations, and medication services. Outpatient care and services are also available for patients under the age of 18, geared towards youth-centric problems and concerns. Take control of your mental health care with Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services. Call 724-437-0729 to set up an appointment or speak immediately with a mental health professional.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your outdoor area with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown. All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has the fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for Nutrena products and also carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies. So if you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are considering the installation of an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers you need. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 to 1, or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
Black and gold up on their feet, terrible towels swirling.
When you listen here, you get all the excitement of Steelers football.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers!
Rob King brings you the play-by-play along with Max Starks and Missy Matthews.
Where would you rather be?
The only place to be on game day is the Pittsburgh Steelers Audio Network.
The 5-4 Steelers host a division rival 3-6 Bengals Sunday at 1 o'clock on your Steelers station 590 and 101.1 WMBS.
Tune in to WMBS the second and fourth Thursdays monthly at 10:30 a.m. for an all-new radio program with Pete Krekel, Director of Clinical Operations and Pharmacist at Nickman's Drug. Pete will explore a myriad of health-related topics and talk about how a strong relationship with your pharmacist is vital for your best health. So mark your listening calendars and be sure to catch the all-new show the second and fourth Thursday each month. Need a pharmacy? Visit Nickman's Drug today at any of their 7 area locations.
They're all coming to your house again for the holidays. Your favorite aunt and uncle from out of town. Friends from across the state. Remember last Thanksgiving when Joe seemed to eat more turkey and stuffing than the chair could support? Remember when the table legs seemed to cry out with all the food weighing it down? Wouldn't it be nice to enjoy a hearty dinner amongst all your family and friends while sitting around a charming dining set from Chesler's Fine Furniture and not having to hold your breath every time someone sits down? Chesler's can make it all possible with a wide variety of graceful and pleasing styles that will offer elegance for your dining area. If you are looking for a formal set, select a two-tone gray and oak set sale priced at $19.99 with a matching buffet at $12.99. Maybe you just need a small 5-piece set. They are priced starting at $5.99. Chesler's has a large selection of 3, 5, and 7-piece sets ready for immediate delivery. Credit terms and delivery are available. Chesler's Fine Furniture, where customers send their friends.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. We've got about a minute and a half here in today's show. 724-438-4593. Give me a buzz. Haven't heard anybody as to the McRib sandwich. I haven't had them. I've had it once or twice, and it's been a long, long time. And I enjoyed them. I'm okay with it coming back. Not that I'm going to make it a everyday staple. I don't do that anyway. I don't know how long it's going to. But I might stop by in the next day or so and have one again. All right. What else we got? Steeler football Sunday, of course. How much are we going to be upset? Sunday, this time, I don't know. Do you think? And after you've seen the Steelers we're halfway through the season here. What do you think? Let's think about this. We'll chat about it next week some more. But do you see things getting any better? Really? So, oh well. Hey, we are waiting for the results of Major League Baseball awards. MVP, Cy Young Award, where Paul Skeens is maybe the winner of that. So, Rookie of the Year, all those type, Manager of the Year, Bob. So we're waiting for all of that. Hey, CBS News is next. They'll bring you news from around the world, the country, and then TJ with the local news, sports, and weather. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. We'll chat next week. This is WNBS Uniontown. It's 3 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Stacey Lynn. Just a few hours from now, the House is expected to vote on a Senate-approved measure to reopen the government. Speaker Mike Johnson pointing the finger at Democrats for prolonging the shutdown, which is in day 43 now.
I just want to apologize to any Americans who are out there who still have flight cancellations or delays today. I want to apologize to the many American families who were made to go hungry over the last several weeks, our troops and other federal employees who are wondering where their next paycheck would come from. All of that's on the Democrats.
Many Democrats, like Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, have already declared their opposition to the bill, which does not include an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies they were fighting for.
House Democrats are strongly opposed to this partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
But despite that, the bill is expected to pass and then head to President Trump's desk for his signature, which he's indicated he will do right away. With the House finally back in session, Democrats released a trove of documents today related to Jeffrey Epstein, including emails claiming President Trump knew about the girls in his sex trafficking ring. The White House pushed back, accusing Dems of selectively leaking emails to create a fake narrative to smear the president. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
Remember that they're friends, essentially dating back to the late 1980s. They were running in the same social circles in New York and Florida, but they broke off their friendship, the president has said, around 2004, more than a decade before Epstein was indicted.
Trump posted about the latest emails on Truth Social, saying the Democrats are bringing up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything to deflect how badly they've done on the shutdown. Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz was in court today and pled not guilty to